Welcome back to Motocross Gaming News here on Start Your Systems. I'm your host, Kellen Brower, and today we're talking about Beta 20 being released in MX Bikes. A random release. Poboso, the game's creator, kind of just dropped it on the community overnight going into Thursday, May 22nd. It caught a lot of community members off guard, and people are still trying to figure this out because there's not actually an official changelog for what is different in the game. We do know that there's some animation updates. We do know that there is a new track also available randomly for the stock base layer of the game, not a mod, just a stock track that's now available in the game. And also the changelog that has been unofficially put out from the MX Bikes community. Like we said, the updated riding animations, there's an updated MSM tire for the traction that's available, but that's obviously the stock bike, not the OEM bikes in the game. Improved kickstart animation, fixed protection paint saving, small rider physics tweaks. So again, we're going to see these little animations and what the rider's doing. Fixed rider ghost twitchiness. The new stock track, as we mentioned, a small sit-stand delay. And then there's even a rider styles options in the garage. We'll go in and check that out in a minute. Added chat logs for dedicated servers, new band messages, more server chat messages. And basically all of what's going on right now in the community is the servers are all pretty much down because they need to be updated for the new beta. And we're just waiting for an official changelog of some sort from Poboso to come out. But for now, the game is updated. If you go to Steam, the game will update and then you'll have Beta 20 available. But let's jump in. We'll try out the new track. We'll also talk about the rider animation updates as well and just talk you through some of this here today on the show. Okay, so first off, I will say going into the garage, there's nothing in garage that says anything about rider style. So I'm assuming that's just one of those things that like you need a UI update for, as it says in this rough update that's in the MX Bikes community. Again, we have no change log, so this is all just figuring it out on the fly, but nothing in the garage, at least that I can see. And then as mentioned, this is the new test track. This is MXB test track that is available if you just scroll through your tracks list, and it's a Supercross Motocross hybrid. So the start is right here, and then it goes under this tunnel, and then you do these like 2 Supercross rhythm sections over the tunnel, finish line jump right here, come through this corner, go around all the way to that side of the track. And then there's even like a Joker lane, but it says coming soon. So I'm assuming at some point they're going to have this like option available to have it be mandated. You take this alternate lane. And if you're wondering what this is, just tough blocks. So I don't know if there's a rhyme or reason to why they are like that, but Poboso shocking us a little bit here today. Let's ride this track though and talk about it and the updates and all that stuff. So I'm just going to ride the OEM bikes because for now they are still going to be the community standard. Like there will be an OEM update for this. I'm almost positive that the OEM team will go to work and come up with an update that, you know, works to fit with this new update. But I think for now, everyone's just going to stick with the Beta 19 OEMs, and that'll become the standard that we see in the servers. There's not really much to change though. It's not like the traction model changed or anything like that. It really does seem like it's very much down to animations. I went and tested a couple different tracks just to see if, you know, there was things that were wildly different. And I just now realized that you guys are watching me do this without sound. So let me go ahead and fix that real quick. Okay, now you have sound as we go over the finish line jump right here. But again, it is just such an animation-based update. Like this isn't going to be something that I think is going to change even that much with what they would eventually do with the OEMs. It's just going to be down to, you know, maybe guys getting a little bit more playful with the animation mods in the game and stuff like that. There's a couple things about servers in there too, but I'm not really someone who runs servers, so someone who, you know, runs race series and stuff can definitely go into that a little bit more detail. But this track is definitely interesting. Like it's cool that he decided to include it. We'll talk about the animations in just a second. Let's just kind of talk about this track. It's probably the most like modern feel racetrack I've ever seen Poboso make, which is like much more tighter, you know, big jumps here and there, but also some like smaller technical sections where I feel like Forest Raceway, MXB Club, and the practice track all were faster than this one. This one feels tighter and more technical. Obviously included a Supercross track, so it's definitely a little bit tighter and more technical. But this is so interesting. Joker lane right here. So you could just go to the left, or you could hit this huge ramp jump double as part of the Joker lane, and then come back up and join up on the track going up the hill. I don't know. I don't know what this is supposed to be for. Like, I feel like the fact that it says coming soon means that he's going to make options for you to be able, like, the game forces you to go down split lanes or something. I don't know. Maybe that's not how it's going to work, but it kind of seems like what it is going to be, just based on like how the aesthetics of it look. Now let's talk about the rider animations here just real quick, and I'll go in third person and talk about this. Basically what this boils down to is a more aggressive stance. You can see, like, as I go faster, the rider kind of leans forward, and this is no lean whatsoever. I'm not putting any lean on the bike, but you can see the like elbows are even tucked down a little bit more, and then if I lean forward, the rider seems to like lean over the bike a little bit more, and then the same thing with leaning back. And where this really gets affected is like if you come up short on a jump, so you can even see like going into the face of that, but then you come up short and not even there, he didn't really do it. See, like immediately back into that kind of crouch stance though, which we didn't used to see before. There's that crouch stance again. You come up a little bit short and the rider kind of soaks it up a little bit differently. Like, it just seems like a more aggressive overall stance, which I think a lot of people that make like screenshots and edits and stuff are going to be stoked to see this, just because it feels a little bit more playful. But if we go back into replay here and kind of talk about this for just a second, so you can see like coming out of the whoops right here, there's nothing really there. So let's go back to out of this corner, that little change up right there. So when you go from, and if I can remember how my rider inputs were right here, when you come out of this corner, normally the stance would be very neutral, but I feel like leaning back, you can see how like much more aggressive. Like, let's watch this transition from coming out of this corner. And so I'm sitting neutral, and as I go to lean back, watch the head tuck. Like, the head tucks down so much lower than the animation used to be. And then I feel like the way he even like soaks up this double, the head's tucked down even more. I don't know if I like how aggressively downwards that stance is. I mean, obviously I'm riding like a goon going off of that double, but even like just going a little bit long right here, and you see how heavy the impact is forward on the body. In the past, the rider was so much more neutral with stuff like that. And even here, we're going to come up short on this triple, and like the rider would just kind of stay in this standing position almost, and instead the rider now kind of like lurches forward with a big case and stuff like that. Like, you'll see here, very much like down, and then even off the back of the bike a little bit as I'm trying to correct it. So it's subtle. It's not the most mind-bending change for animations that we've ever seen, but it is something, I guess, that Poboso felt needed to be done to make the rider look more natural on the bike. Which I think a lot of people already thought anyway, but then you see stuff like this and you're like, that looks pretty stupid. And legitimately, I've even talked to professional Supercross racers about how the rider looks in MX bikes, and that is one of their biggest gripes, is that like when you do something like a cross-up in air, if you're leaning forward or backwards or neutral, it doesn't matter. The rider always looks weird and stiff and like just not correct. So I think that's something that maybe Poboso is going to focus on in the future, but now it looks like he's fixed some sort of ground animation update here. Is it good? Yeah, fine, whatever. Like, again, there it is, soaking it up into the whoops, trying to stay a little bit lower on the bike. Even the head reacting to each whoop a little bit right there too, I think is different. I don't remember seeing that before. So little updates here and there. It's not the biggest changes ever, but it's definitely noticeable. And again, talking about this track, I think that this track is pretty unique to see him put out there, because I'm kind of curious to see how this ends up in the servers. Like if this coming soon Joker Lane thing is going to be utilized, and then maybe people even start utilizing it in game. That'll be kind of cool. Still got the tower with, showing the live standings and stuff like that. But Forest was so overplayed that I wonder if this track then like kind of takes over the rotation. I kind of think it doesn't, because I think people are going to be scared off by how much Supercross is going on right there. This track is not easy. It feels a little bit more technical. Like even this step down in the back coming off of this single and then being able to triple down this hill. Like Forest, what was the beauty of it is that there were a couple lines that were like, whoa, you could do some cool stuff. But the basic lines were so easy. And this one feels like if you don't do that triple down the hill, and if you don't do that rhythm section very clean, and a couple other things, that you're going to be kind of annoyed that you're not going fast enough. So I almost wonder this doesn't take over that rotation at least. But will be interesting to see how the servers play from here. Again, as of this second, most servers are down. So ranked servers are down. Official race servers are down, because they haven't updated to the new server files yet to be able to run on beta 20. But I'd imagine that's all going to be fixed pretty soon. My MXB updates will be coming throughout the day. It's funny how this drops so, again, this is more dropping early in Europe and then in the middle of the night in the USA. But right now, all the people that are in Europe that mostly work on the servers and stuff for this game are going to sleep, and most of this stuff hasn't been fixed yet because they were shocked by this drop as well. So very curious to see what the next few days look like, but at least for now, Beta 20 is here, and gonna be cool to see what comes of it. So we'll keep up to date with you you guys here on the channel on what's next, what OEMs are still to come, and if there are more changes to this based on the original changelog that we sort of have. Maybe there's some new stuff coming as well. But for now, Beta 20 is here. Let me know if you guys have any comments or questions in the comment section below. Happy to answer them down there for you guys. And thanks for tuning in to another Motocross gaming news here on Start Your Systems. We'll see you guys again soon. So long for now. If you liked that video, be sure to subscribe to the channel for much more Motocross gaming content.